What's going on, people? So it's been a couple days since I've been on here. The entire weekend, the entire New Year's weekend, and the first part of the week has been pretty shitty. And I mean that literally and as a pun, because a bug went through my family and wiped out the entire house. Like, this stomach bug was unbelievable. It was, I mean, I was actually thinking it was food poisoning, because the last time I had violent reactions, like where I was literally shitting and throwing up at the same time, I had to hold a bucket in front of me while I was on the toilet, and it was like water coming out. And I'm sorry to be graphic, but this bug was ferocious, and it went right through my house. It's taken me a couple days to recover. It started on New Year's Day, and it wiped me out. And it's now Thursday, and I'm actually on my way to work for the first time. And it snowed. We got this stupid thing called a cyclone, a bomb cyclone. Why do the weather people make up new names every year to scare us? I mean, come on. Bomb cyclone? Knock it off. I mean, stop with the terminology. Just call it snow. When I was growing up, my parents would be like, hey, it's snowing outside. All right, that's it, snow. It wasn't a bomb cyclone. It wasn't the snowpocalypse. It wasn't any number one of these fear-mongering type phrases that you hear just to, you know, boost viewership. I mean, knock it off. It's fucking snow, all right? And we didn't cancel schools until there was actually snow in the ground. I'm glad that they canceled ahead of time, but how many near misses have we had in the past where we're like, oh, it didn't snow, or it's a dusting, and kids don't go to school? I mean, we're always erring on the side of caution. I get it. Everyone's want to be safe and all, but come on. I wake up today, and it's, I don't know, about a half a foot of snow on the ground, or maybe more. Big deal. So that's where I've been for the last couple of days, trying to get over this stomach bug that, like, wiped us all out. I mean, everybody who came in contact with my family, except for my mom and dad, have been sick. My brother got sick. My fiance was sick. My son, my daughter's got it now. She's getting over it now. So she's the last victim of this nasty bug. But man, I'll tell you what. I don't want to experience that again. So I got a lot of things to get off my chest since it's been a couple of days. January's giveaway. And knock that out of the park right now. That's not going to be till the end of January. Still trying to think of a couple of new ways to, you know, do this. And I'm thinking I'm just going to end up, I mean, oh, slide in here. I'm thinking I'm just going to end up doing like years past. Or excuse me, months past. So that's going to be towards the end of January. It'll be last week of January. You know, January we'll have that. The hitch cover I spoke about before, Brian is supposed to install that this Friday or tomorrow. Matter of fact, I better text him. He's supposed to install this either tomorrow or Saturday. With the weather the way it is, I'm going to shoot for hopefully Saturday. But snow 2 weekends in a row, you know, screwed our plans on that. Let's see what else. By the way, I'm driving in snow mode, which for any SRT, especially the Jeep SRT, it really doesn't matter. I mean, the amount of torque this thing still puts down, and it doesn't matter what type of shoes you got on, this thing will spin, this thing will slide. And like I said, I'm driving in about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of snow right now on the main road, about to get on the highway. But I'm going to be jumping all around here in conversation, so bear with me, people. So the hitch cover will hopefully be done this weekend. I'm not making any more promises, because with the weather, you know, who knows? You know, it's winter time. It's hit or miss. Let's see what else. I had a new round of haters visit my channel. I love when people say that the first thing they did was hit pause on the video. No, you did. you didn't hit pause, and then you brag about having an ad blocker and I didn't get any revenue from you. You're one person, and 200,000 plus people come to this channel a month. I really don't care if 1 or 2 people come to brag and, you know, give me zingers. That's great. I really don't give a shit. I think it's hilarious, but you should do your own research. Do a little bit more fact checking on how YouTube's ad revenue and their revenue in general works. It's not just off of their ads, and you know, you're not just pausing right away in order to comment. I mean, really, you had to watch something that agitated you to the point that you made a comment. So, I mean, play me another fiddle that's a little smaller than this, people. Always love a nice round of haters when they come, because they're my favorite demographic to attack back, because I love the fact that they can't stay away. They continue to come back, and you know, it benefits me. So thanks to all you in the new year, especially the guy or girl. I don't even know if you are a guy or a girl, because your name is it's, you know, monogender. I don't even know what the fuck to call you, to be honest with you. It started with a G and ended with a Y, and it had like 24 letters in between, and it wasn't even the alphabet. Obviously you're from another country, or you had a seizure while you were typing in your username. One of those 2 reasons. But thank you for the recent hate. Let's see what else. An interesting thing about revenue, January 1st hit, and something happened with the YouTube analytics. I'll just let you pull the curtain back a little bit. And I don't know if they changed it up a little bit, but it's definitely acting a little different. Viewership went up, but the RPMs went down. If you understand what I'm talking about, maybe you can fill me in on why the RPM shot down on January 1st. Other than that, a couple of stories in the news that I recently saw that I wanted to touch on, that seems like the entire world is talking about. This guy, I never even heard of him until yesterday. So when you look him up, when you Google him, or you go to search this story, you'll discover this nitwit also. His name's Logan Paul. He's an up-and-coming famous YouTuber. Basically has a lot of 10-year-olds that follow him. They're all children. So, I mean, do you really want to base your fame on the fact that your fan base is a bunch of children? I mean, if you're Disney, that's cool. But if you're some clown who, in this instant, he specifically went to Japan, they have this forest off of Mount Fuji that they, you know, call the Suicide Forest. It's not the official name of it, but the unofficial name is the Suicide Forest, because people there go to commit suicide in this forest. It's kind of like our Golden Gate Bridge. How many people every year jump off the Golden Gate Bridge? The same thing goes for this forest. He specifically went there to shoot a fun video. He called it a fun video. He wore some, I can't even describe the jackass hat he wore, but this guy is the biggest fucking douchebag I've ever seen. This is what our kids are looking up to. It's fucking pathetic. This generation is looking up to a guy like this. So, and everyone else, his fans are like, well, he made a mistake. There were mistakes, you know. Sometimes when I do a math equation, I make a mistake. I didn't use a calculator. He didn't use common fucking sense. He went there specifically to look for a dead body. How do we know that? Because he talks about it. He even goes off the fucking pathway with his, which is restricted and illegal in Japan. So I hope Japan prosecutes his ass or bans this motherfucker from ever coming back into their country. So what does he do? He goes there, goes off path, looking for, as he says, ghosts, which don't exist, jerk off, looking for suicide. And they find one. And his 2 friends, I mean, he puts on a nice little show and acting all distraught for about 15 seconds until he starts joking around again. But his friends are laughing and giggling the whole time. You zoom in on the girl, she's a fucking twat. And the guy with her, they're both fucking idiots. I mean, are these your little yes people? Logan, or whoever knows this fucking clown, you need to stop. Just stop. There are mistakes, and then there are intentional actions which you did. This fucking guy, and I almost feel bad that by bringing up this guy's name and talking about this story, that people are going to search it out now. He says that his the video wasn't monetized, but he's going for the shock and awe. Afterwards, he zooms in on this body, blurs out the face, but like they're in there joking next to this person who just committed suicide, like it's fucking all fun and games, and then he's acting shocked, like, I didn't know this was gonna happen. Is this real life? Yes, you fucking idiot. That's why it's called the suicide forest. That's why you went there. I mean, you can't double back and double down on your fucking stupidity by saying, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe I went to a forest looking for death and I found it. That's like walking into a whorehouse and you're shocked you found pussy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Holy shit. So, if you look up this clown, Logan Paul, you're not going to see on YouTube anymore because they took it down. And that's another thing. YouTube's analytics, or the process of flagging videos, over 600,000 of his little children liked that video.
Caution,
before
red light camera ahead.
YouTube actually took it down. That's the telling part here. That 600,000 little children liked it. Like, if your mommy and daddy's not around to give you hugs and kisses, to teach you right from wrong, if you're liking suicide, then by all means, Darwinism, follow suit. I support you in your emo activities, and the fact that maybe you'll follow suit and off yourselves also. And somebody will film it and put it on YouTube so the rest of the world can joke about your fucking dumbass. Anyone who makes fun of emotionally distraught people, fuck off. I hope you die. Plain and simple. Depression is not to be joked with. Suicide is not to be joked with. Yes, these are fucking things in society that society looks down on you when you do this. Did he make a mistake? Come on, knock it off with it. It's an innocent mistake. It's not an innocent mistake, people. When you intentionally go out of your way to do this. There are just certain things you should know better from the start. All right? And if you disagree with me, fuck off. I don't care. Comment below that you're upset, that you think anything should be, like everything should not be off limits. That you should be able to post whatever you want. Sorry. Society disagrees with you. You'll have to follow suit. Making fun of fucking people who are either mentally, have mental issues, or, depression. Depression is a sickness. It's not something you can think away, like some of these idiots on Facebook who put up these cute little videos. They're like, look at the sky, look at the sun, they make me feel warm. No, okay? PTSD is a real fucking thing. I know, I actually suffered it after I was wounded. It's something you can't control. It's not something. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you can't control your thoughts. It's a TMI. It's a traumatic TBI. Excuse me. It's a traumatic brain injury. Things happen to you that you can't control. And for anyone to make fun of that, fuck you. Fuck this Logan Paul and all of his little followers. I hope when you grow up and you finally hit puberty, you finally understand, maybe that guy was an asshole. I can't believe I supported him. And judging by some of the rest of the videos this clown's put up, all he's in it for is a quick view and a quick buck, which is fine. There are a lot of people on YouTube that do that with their clickbait. I'm against that, actually. I don't like that shit. I really can't stand this whole clickbait crap. Some people will argue over titles. I mean, really? The guy put the fucking dead body in his thumbnail. He was looking for views. He was looking for more followers, and the shock and awe. And what was sad was that it started to trend on YouTube before they actually took it down. So you're not going to see this dead body person. You're not going to find it. So you can find a video. But so like I said, that was the one video that really bothered me. That was the one story, I should say, that really struck a nerve with me. Only because I've known close personal friends of mine who have committed suicide. I know what depression is like, and I know what can happen when your mind is not functioning, 100%. So to somebody like this, these like YouTube people, they're a dime a dozen. And these little children will eventually one day grow up. And these people will not be stars no more. They'll go bankrupt because they don't they haven't done shit with their lives other than make fucking videos. That's not a career. But that's all I have to say about that. This winter weather, back to the weather, is unbelievable. The cold temperatures that we've been experiencing this last 2 weeks, this Arctic dip, whatever you want to call it, it's been pretty fucking bad. We've been in the teens. Now listen, I'm not comparing this to Anchorage, Alaska. I'm not comparing this to, you know, Quebec. So I get it. There are colder places in the world. There are also warmer places in the world. What I'm telling you is the temperatures we're experiencing right now are unseasonably cold. It's 24 degrees outside, and we're in the first week of January. Normally, we get some really cold weather a little bit further down into late February and March, but like I said, we're experiencing, there's a lot of accidents on the road. People, if you can't drive in the bad weather, please don't. Not that any of us are experts in poor conditions, but if you have a rear-wheel drive vehicle, go below the speed limit. All right, I'm driving under 40 miles an hour. People are passing me, and guess what? My ego's in check. I'm not in a race. Look, here comes a guy passing me right now in an F-150. Go ahead, bud. Get to the freaking imaginary finish line. If you're comfortable driving your vehicle faster, go right ahead. Because even if the speeds of 40 I'm doing right now, I risk losing control. It is a Jeep. It is an SRT. These are all-season tires. They're not winter tires. And even with winter tires, ice is still fucking ice. I'm sorry. That's another debate for another video between tires, or some people who are so in love with the type of rubber they put on their rims that they have these imaginary beliefs that once you put snow tires on, you're not going to lose control. You're not going to crash. You're insane in the membrane. Let's see what else has been going on. So Saturday, before this Montezuma's revenge hit, Saturday I was able to get to the beer store. As a matter of fact, I'll just show you a short little clip in the top of your screen right now. You look right up here. I'll show you a little clip. I could throw an extra clip in at the end just to show you the inside of the beer store. I wanted to take you guys and, you know, basically film. I wanted to show you the inside of this beer store. It's crazy big, but it was really uncomfortable walking around with a shopping cart full of beer and a GoPro. Be like, hey, look at this, it's fucking beer. I mean, hey, look at this, it's fucking beer. I mean, you know how nerdy that looks? And I haven't gotten past the old, you know, walking around and just holding a fucking GoPro in public, because to me it looks lame. So I did go in there. I did show a lot of the aisles and show you how large this place is. You know what? Let's just take a look at it right now. I'll show you a couple quick clips, and this is what the beer store was on Saturday night. Take a look here. Alright, so that was the beer store. Just wanted to show you a tiny bit of what I did on Saturday. We ended up going out Saturday night. We haven't been out in literally months because of my fiance's in nursing school, her final year, so it's pretty hectic. So that's what we did on Saturday night. We went to a local bar, shot a little bit of pool, you know, kind of dusted off the rust on the cue because I haven't shot in months, and it showed. For a person who I shot in leagues for years, was it 7 in the APA, APL, BPL, TAP League, tournament after tournament, Rally in the Valley, all these big tournaments with semi-pros and pros. I played my ass off for 20 years, and you know what, I was actually pretty good. I'll toot my own horn. But when you don't shoot for a while, your eye might still be there, but holy shit, that eye-hand coordination needs to be fine-tuned. So it took me a couple of games before I started running 5 and 6 balls at a time. That was fun. then Sunday we basically just relaxed all day long, and New Year's Eve we stayed in, and then of course, what was that? And then of course on New Year's Day, Montezuma's Revenge hit, and I felt like the kid from Willy Wonka, Augustus Gloop, just fell in the chocolate puddle. I mean, it was the lake of chocolate. It was that bad. Those of you in the area or have experienced this nasty bug that's going around this season, I'm sure I don't have to explain to you how potent this thing was. It like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to cut it off right there as far as talking about that bug. I'm giving him too much. I'm giving the bug as much credence as I am that Logan Paul fucking nitwit. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. It's been a nice long drive here in the snow-covered roads. I wonder how much snow y'all got. I say y'all, and I'm not from the South. It was one thing I picked up when I was down south for a while. I don't always say that, but for some reason when I'm on camera, it rolls off the tongue. So I don't know if you've ever noticed that when I say y'all. It's not a very common phrase here in Philadelphia. It's more like yous, what are yous doing, or what yous get. But if you want to let me know below how bad you got the snow. Now I know if you're in Erie, they got like 60 inches. It's not my exact number is not going to be exact, but it was like over 58 to 60 inches in 2 days. Something insane. And I saw some of the pictures coming out of Erie. Fuck. Where are you going to go? Like, I saw people digging out, and I'm like, but how much can you move? How much snow can you move? That's going to be there until August. That's insane. Now, I'm heading down here to the airport, which looks to be open because there is a plane coming in to land. But as far as I know, my operation has been grounded. Who knows, that can change later. I'm sure they're going to be feverishly working to open up the ramps and get these planes out that have been sitting all day. So work is going to be really fun. But that's what I do for a living. And yeah, they've got, I don't see aircraft leaving, but they do have aircraft still landing, which is amazing because the whole Delaware Valley right now is just snow covered. Now I'm getting off the expressway and I need to go down to like under 20 miles an hour on this ramp. Sorry, I'm very cautious when I drive. Some people just don't give a shit, or they are overconfident with all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive does not mean you're not going to slip. Doesn't mean you're going to lose control and crash. Ice is ice. It doesn't give a fuck if all four of your wheels are spinning or not. It really doesn't. I'm sure some of you have hit black ice in your life. I had some scary moments. Twice, as a matter of fact, that I can think of right off the top of my head when I was in college. I remember I went to Penn State, so we had this thing called Thon, and it was a snowy weekend. We were in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and we were canning, and the girl who drove, I was telling her, we were on the I-76, it's also called the Schuylkill, and I was telling her, look, be careful, there are a lot of cars sliding all over the place. Car in front of us slid out of control, went in a ditch. And right after I got done telling this girl to please be careful and to like take her time, what do you think happened? Slid out of control, went in a ditch. And right after I got done telling this girl to please be careful and to like take her time, what do you think happened? We lost control. She panicked, she screamed, she jammed on the brakes, which is the worst thing to do when you lose control of your vehicle, is to jam on the brakes. That's not gonna stop you. Steer into the fucking spin and power out of it, okay? This girl fucking hit the brakes. We spun around like a top on the highway. Luckily, we didn't hit anything. But our adventure wasn't done there. Nope. A couple hours later, after we had gotten back to this girl's house and we changed, we were going to a party. Same exact thing. ground was completely black and wet. It was like sub-freezing temperatures, and I told her, remember what happened earlier? Take your time. And she was like, reassuring, I know how to drive. I swear to fucking Christ. Or the flying spaghetti monster. As soon as I said that, she lost control, spun around on Kelly Drive, and luckily, again, we didn't hit anything. But guess who drove after that? This guy. Not because I'm like some freaking awesome driver, but I was taking my time after that and not being overconfident. Plus, growing up, you used to practice driving and spinning out, and, you kind of get used to steering out of situations like that when you practice it. She was very, not incompetent, but just, had no clue what she was doing. So, I drove for the rest of the weekend. You might not be able to take over the wheel of somebody else's vehicle, but hopefully you're not in a vehicle that they don't know what the hell they're doing, So I've rambled on now for about 26 minutes, told you what's going on in my life. Like I said, I had a really shitty weekend. Pun intended. Really, really shitty weekend. I don't wish that on anybody. No, maybe a couple people. But aside from that, I'm almost to work now, and I've got like 2.5 hours before I actually start, which is plenty of time for me to go in and secure a vehicle and get a good parking spot. That's my number one goal right now, is to find a decent parking spot. Stay tuned for Saturday. Like I said, we'll cancel again on Saturday if the weather still looks like this. I'm not driving 45 minutes it's 45 minutes when it's a normal day. I'm not driving 2 hours to have a trailer hitch cover installed and take a risk of crashing. Wow, I'm driving. It's whiteout conditions right now. The winds are picking up in like 40, 50 mile an hour winds, and it's blowing the snow across the road. I don't know if you can see it in the side of my window, but in the front, which, you know what, I'll pull this up. It's 325. I'll pull it up off the dash cam. The airport looks like a mess. Anybody landing in this shit's got fucking balls of steel. I've flown both a Piper and I've flown a helicopter, and I'll tell you what, balls of steel. Pilots have balls of steel. Flying fixed wing was fairly easy. Flying a helicopter was one of the most difficult things I tried. It is not as easy as you think. Any of you guys out there who have done the same, or who have had a cyclic in your hands and have attempted it for whatever reason, no, it is no joke, man. There are so many things that can go wrong if you're not paying attention, and if you don't know the limitations of your aircraft. And I flew an R-22, which is a really small helicopter. The R-22 and the R-44 aren't exactly the most reliable aircraft or birds in the world. But let's just say once we hit some chop about 1,500 feet in the air, that little thing was all over the place, and there's no door for you to like brace your arm on. You're literally, it's like right here, and you're up against your pilot instructor, and not for me. All right, jump out of airplanes and airborne and everything else, but when it comes to flying a little tiny helicopter, I'd rather be fixed wing or on the ground. That's it. That's just me. That's me personal. So I don't think I've missed anything. So far 2018, my carbon fiber trim hasn't started to repeal. It's an ongoing joke within the Jeep community because every single day somebody joins the club. I mean, you haven't owned a Jeep SRT until your carbon fiber trim has started to peel. It's the truth. Hopefully the Trackhawk does not have the same type of carbon fiber. I noticed in the Durango, in my cousin's 2018 Durango SRT, they have something similar, but it's not carbon fiber, but it looks better in my opinion. But it should be peeling. I mean, the one guy showed his entire door jamb coming off, the whole fucking trim, and there's like one little strip of glue. You can see where they only put one little piece of glue. I mean, I get it. You're in a rush to put the car together, or you're saving on glue, but if you know back in 2011 that this is a problem and we're still experiencing it in 2017, 2018, put some more fucking glue. Try some more glue. Try some other adhesives that work. You know, people are fixing this themselves and it's holding up better than what Fiat is doing. So get your shit together, Jeep. We love your vehicles, but man, your quality effing blows. Other than that, there's not much more I can say, because I've already talked for 30 minutes and most of you bail out before like 5 minutes in, or so people tell me. So if you're here, you're here. You're not, you're not. I'm almost pulling into work now. I think I've caught you up to date on where I'm at, what's happened to me over the last couple of days. I should be back on here on the daily, starting again tomorrow, with a daily blog, rant, whatever you want to call it, update. I call it an update. Some people call them blogs, vlogs. I don't like all the little fucking different names. Whatever. You call it whatever you want. I don't care. But that's it. So that's all I had for you guys today. Check back tomorrow. Please subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you have any questions. And I'll talk more. Wow. All right, guys. That's all I have. I'm out.